Flutter developers. Welcome back to our channel. Today we have an exciting topic to discuss. We are going to dive into the world of Flutter routing and explore how to implement it using the MVVM architecture. If you are new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you don't miss any of our future Flutter tutorials. Let's start. To kick things off, let's take a look at the project structure. So in previous video lectures, we have just structured our folders according to our MVVM architecture. And in the last video lecture, we have just implemented our custom exceptions for handling the exceptions of our application, and we have also implemented the uh, API response and getting APIs from the server, and managing all the URLs and get method and post method. We have implemented all of them in our previous video lecture. If you have not watched that video yet, please go and first watch that video and come back again to this video lecture. So in today's video we are going to learn about routing. So when we route something, we need two or more than two pages to go from one page to another page. So for that reason, let's just create two screens so that we can move from one screen to another screen. So first, in the view directory, I will be creating two screens, which will be our home screen dot. Here I will be creating a stateful widget and I will name it home screen, and here I will be doing some styling, so I will be using my escape world widget as usual, and I'll be using the app bar. So on the application app bar, our title should be shown, so we should uh, see the title that it is the home page or the login screen page. So in the app bar I will be using the title and the const keyword and my text widget to uh, write the title, which will be home screen. So here I will just save it and I will be copying all the build widget, and I will be creating another file which will be our login screen dot. So here I will also be creating a stateful widget and name it login screen, and I will just paste the code here and I will just change the title to the login screen, and again I will just save it and I will just so now I have just created two screens, the login screen and the home screen in the view directory. So now let's just implement the routes and the how can we do that. So let's just create two files, one for routes name and the other one for the routes. So in the utils folder I will be just creating a new folder named routes. So in the routes folder I will just create two dart files, which one will be routes.dart where we will implement our routes logic, and the other file which will be the routes name. So in this start file we will be heading uh, the names of our route. So as we know, we have just created two screens, one home screen and the other one is login screen. So I will just create names for both of them. Here we will be using class routes name, and here I will just use the static and constant and string home, and here I will just store home screen. Just remember the route's name should be unique. So this is the string home screen. Yeah, static. Why we are getting some kind of error? Let's check it. Yeah. So let's just copy this and paste it again and just change the name to login, and here I will be just changing this home to our login screen. So uh, we define our route names as constants, as here I have done it because this is a good practice to avoid hard coding route names making and this will make our code much cleaner and more maintainable. So here I have just created my route name, so I will be using these names dynamically. So if you need to add another route, you need to first define the route's name in this class. So now let's take a look at our routes.dart. This is where we define our route logic, and we will be using generate route function to map route names to the respective screens. This ensures our app navigates to the correct screens when route is requested. So let's just begin. I will be creating a class for my routes, which will be routes, and here I will be uh, declaring a variable named route of dynamic type and use our generate route map function static route, and the type should be dynamic, which can be any type, um, dynamic, and generate route. So this is coming from our material.dart, so we need to import that, and here we will be using route settings and the settings. Yeah, now we will be switching and checking the route names if the route is requested, if it is our home route or if it is our login route, do some kind of actions accordingly, and if it is not both of them, then do something else. So we will use the switch here, and we will be using our cases and settings dot name. It takes an string, so let's just do that, and here our case, and I will be using our routes name, and here it is. If the case is uh, routes name, then return something. So we will return um, material page. Here we need a builder and a context. So if the route's name is home, then it should go to our home screen. So as we know, we have already defined our home screen. Here it is. We will use the const keyword to remove the warnings. Sorry, what is the method? The method const screen defined. So okay, let's just remove this const. I don't know why we are getting that error. So here, if the case is home, then go to our home screen. So if we will be defining our default one, if there is no route's name, then what it should do, then return, we will just return a simple screen that should show a message that no routes defined with that name. So return material page dot route, and in the builder section will be just return return scaffold widget, and in the body part we will just return a text widget which should be at the center of the screen. Text, no routes defined. So if there is no routes defined, if the case is not home screen, and if the case is not login, so let's just go to the default section. So here we have defined our home. Now let's just copy this and paste this, and here we will use the login, and if the route name is login, just go to the login screen. So here we have just uh, defined our logic for routing. So here we are getting some kind of error. Method login isn't defined. So why the method login isn't defined for the type routes? Yeah, let's just ignore this, I think. Okay, now let's move to our main.dart. Moving on to our main.dart, here where the magic happens, we configure our application material help widget with our initial route and the on generate route property, which points to our routing logic in our routes.dart. So here we are using home, so I will be just cutting this home property, and I will be just removing this home class, and here in place of home, now we are, as we are using route, so I will be using my initial route. So what will be our initial route? So I will be just calling it routes name dot login here. Now we will be using on generate route here. So in the on generate routes, I will be just calling our uh, on generate routes, which we have already defined in our routes class. So generate route, and that is it. So here what is the issue? So let's just import that class, and we will be just saving it. So here what error we are getting? So there is no error. So now we are done with our routing, implementing our route class. So let's just um, restart our application, and just let's test the routes, whether if these are working. So here it initially we had the when the application starts, it is going to our login page. So as we have defined the initial route here. So now let's just go and create a button to go to next screen. When we will click the screen, it should go to our home screen. So let's just define a simple button here in our body. So we will be using our center widget to make the button center child, and a text button here. Text button takes a onPress function. OnPress function, and a child we will be using the text here to show her name. Go to next screen, and here when we will click on this button on the on press, there should be some type of actions. So we will be using our navigator dot push, and here now we need um, our route name, which will be coming from our routes name class dot home. So I think what the argument type string cannot be assigned to parameter type. Well, yeah, sorry, we will be just using the navigator dot post named. So here we will be using our routes name home, and I will just add a semicolon here, and now we are done with our um, designing page and creating our login. So here you see, now when I am clicking this go to next screen button, it is just um, routing to our home screen, which is our uh, the other page. So it is initially starting with our login page, and when I click on the button go to next screen, it is routing to our next screen. So here it is, we have just created uh, our logics of handling routes and separated our routes name. So if you need to create a new route for a new screen, so just come here and define the route name, and just create a new case for the new screen, and you are good to go. And there you have it. Flutter developers, we have successfully set up routing in Flutter using the MVVM architecture. Now, when you navigate between screens and your app, you can do so with ease and maintainability. If you found this video helpful, make sure to give it a thumbs up and share it with your fellow developers. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and ring button that notification bell so you never miss out on our future Flutter tutorials. For more in-depth discussions about coding, connect with me on my social media platforms. You will find all the links in the description box below. And have you found and if you want to be a part of our community, join our WhatsApp group. The link is also in the description box. Thanks for tuning in, and I can't wait to connect with you all online. Until next time, happy coding.